Okay, good day to all. I'll be discussing the genogram, its relevance, and how can we apply some technologies on preparing it. Now, if I'll talk about the genogram, guys, basically I'm talking about the family history. And we will try to connect the family history on something in informatics so that you will be able to apply some softwares towards the preparation of this activity. Now, when we talk about family history, you are taught in fundamentals of nursing that family history is important. Okay? In fact, in your health assessment, you are being advised that you need to get the health history of the patient. Specifically, class the family history. Diba, if you can recall, you have topics for you need to ask the mother, the father, if what are the diseases that runs through the family. So class, when we talk about the family history of illness, it includes basically even the age of the family members. So you need to include the age of the siblings, the age of the patient themselves, the age of the parents, the age of the grandparents, and all those relevant members of the family. Added to that, if there are existing health conditions, you also need to take note of it because these existing health conditions may run actually in the blood. And then if that patient's family member is already deceased, you need to find out the cause of death of that patient, okay? Or the cause of death of that family member. Because the cause of death of the family member may be able to talk about relevant diseases that runs also in the family. Now, if I talk about family history, dear students, can you give me examples of diseases on chat that are relevant in the family history? Can you give me examples of those diseases with familial predisposition? Yes, hypertension is one. It has high genetic susceptibility. What else? Yes, diabetes, no? The lifestyle diseases. Yes, what else? Diabetes is, yeah, a very good example. What else? Let me see. Yes, cancer. Yeah, cancer, no? And plus for cancer, you need to specify the specific type of cancer that your patient is experiencing, okay? Or the specific type of cancer that, anong tawag natin dyan, that the family member is experiencing. Somebody mentioned asthma. Yes, true to that, no? For example, in my case, me and my siblings have asthma, okay? All of us have asthma. It runs in the family. Tuberculosis, you know what? Tuberculosis, now let's try to think about tuberculosis. Is tuberculosis genetic? Is tuberculosis genetic? For example, pag ang lola ba ng pasyente natin may tuberculosis, nagkaka-tuberculosis din ba yung mga anak at saka yung mga apo niya? Yes, on chat. Tuberculosis. So tuberculosis is not actually genetic, no? Tuberculosis is not genetic. However, no, ganito yan. Even though if it is not genetic, it is still relevant, okay? It is still relevant in the family history. Paano naging relevant yung tuberculosis in the family history? Plus, there is a big tendency that if a family member has tuberculosis, other family members would also have tuberculosis. Kung kaya relevant siya in the family history. But I would like to correct you that when I say tuberculosis, it's not genetic. However, we still gather it in the family history because of the very high tendency that other family members might also have it. Somebody mentioned also lupus. Yes, we usually refer to that as your SLE. So plus there are actually different type of lupus, but the most common one is your systemic lupus erythematosus. Okay, that's your SLE, no? Systemic lupus erythematosus. What else? There are actually a lot, no? There are actually a lot. Arthritis, no? Arthritis, good. There is a specific type of arthritis that is actually genetic. And that type of arthritis is your RA. Plus, when we talk about arthritis, we usually learn 3 types, no? So you have your OA, your RA, and then your GA. What is OA, class? Your OA stands for osteoarthritis. That is usually associated with aging. Your GA class stands for gouty arthritis, and your gouty arthritis is related, of course, to gout. Okay, it's related to gout. The increase of your, what substance is increased in gout? Plus the increase of your uric acid. Okay, and then plus you have your RA. Your RA is your rheumatoid arthritis. And when I talk about rheumatoid arthritis class, it's usually autoimmune. Okay, and plus autoimmune disorders have high genetic predisposition. Okay? Basta sinabi nating autoimmune disorders, they have high genetic predisposition. If you can recall your lessons in physiology and then also in fundamentals of nursing, when we talk about autoimmune diseases class, I basically tell my students that it's the self-attacking self. Okay? What do I mean by that class? The cells of our body are attacking also the other cells of our body. That's why it's referred to as autoimmune. Okay? Kung baga class, sarili mo, inaatake ang sarili mo. That's why autoimmune siya. Malakas din yung malakas din ang genetic predisposition yan. Now, next class, you also have your Alzheimer's. Yeah, Alzheimer's. It has also high genetic predisposition. So, if you can notice, there are actually a lot. There are actually a lot of disorders that you need to confirm from your patient whether there is family predisposition. And some of you are asking, sir, paano namin itatanong yan? I-enumerate ba namin lahat? Well, if you can, that could be a good way. But another way, class, is to ask your family member, is to ask the patient, if what are the diseases of the family members. Tapos some of them will say, wala. Another class question that you can ask is, ma'am, ano po yung mga maintenance or may mga maintenance bang tinitake ang family members ninyo? May maintenance ba si nanay? May maintenance ba si tatay, si lola, si lolo, or mga kapatid natin? Okay? You know why I'm asking that question? Because I have encountered patients wherein they will say, okay, for example, di ba, I will ask, sir, ano po yung mga sakit natin? So sabihin, wala, I'm healthy. No? I just went here in the ER kasi nga na-aksidente ako. Pagkatapos follow-up question mo, sir, ano yung mga medicines na tinitake natin? Agad-agad sasabihin, nagbi-metformin ako, nag-lolosartan, amlodipine. So wala daw silang sakit, pero nagmi-maintenance sila. Okay? So as a nurse, you would understand, oh, metformin, that's diabetes. Losartan, amlodipine, that's already hypertension. Okay? So that's why you do not right away believe the yes or no of your patients. No? You need to explore further. Eh baka sabihin, sir, it does that mean that our patients are lying? A few would lie. However, class, most of the times, it's just lack of knowledge about the disease process. Okay? Most of the times, class, it's just lack of knowledge about the disease process. So do not judge them na sinungaling sila or what. Okay? Now, if you would look at this, these are the common disorders also. Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, hypertension, obesity class is common, allergies, arthritis you've mentioned, tuberculosis. I mentioned that it's not really genetic. However, class, it has the tendency to spread across family members. Now, bleeding. How about naman bleeding? Give me a common bleeding disorder class that runs in the family, especially royal family. I don't know if you've heard of some princess or some queen having this bleeding disorder. What bleeding disorder po runs in the family? Anybody? Yes? Anybody on chat? Plus, there's a bleeding disorder that runs in the family and it's getting more common among members of the royal family. Diba, class, there was a time wherein the members of the royal family would marry only those who are members of their family also. And the reason for that, class, is they don't want to spread their kayamanan to others. Yes, that will be your hemophilia. Okay, that will be your hemophilia. Okay? Plus, alcoholism, the genetic predisposition of alcoholism is weak. Now, so it does not mean na kapag si tatay alcoholic, napapasa sa blood, pupunta ka agad kay baby alcoholic. No, hindi po ganon. Pero plus, alcoholism here is more of a behavioral predisposition. Ibig sabihin, if your patient or if you are as an individual sees somebody at home who is drinking alcohol, sees somebody at home who is drinking alcohol, pagkatapos nagsusmoke, anong tendency, class? No? The tendency is that this individual or person will also mimic or copy that as a coping mechanism. Okay? So class, mental health disorders also. Maraming mental health disorders. You will learn of that in psychiatric nursing. So one example is your schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety. All of those has familial predisposition. And then other than that, the dictum kasi that we use in psych is that a patient with a mental health problem usually have a problematic family. Okay? Bakit po natin nasasabing ganon? Kasi class, your family is one of your primary support system. So class, if your family is failing, the tendency is that the mental health of the individual is also affected. Okay, so that's why there's familial predisposition also. Somebody mentioned OCD. Yes, your OCD also has a familial predisposition, your obsessive compulsive disorder. Okay? Pero baka mamaya isipin nyo na naman na, ay, ganun pala sir, no? Baka may OCD. Baka may OCD ako kasi si sister may OCD. Kaya wag mag-overthink ka. Wag mag-overthink. You, student nurses and nurses alike have a tendency to overthink, no? Kasi marami tayong alam na mga sakit. Okay? Sige. What else? Now, let's talk about the genogram. Let's talk about the genogram. Plus, the simple way of saying genogram is your family tree. Okay, that's your family tree. No? You might be wondering, sir, what's a genogram? Plus, it's your family tree. However, plus, it illustrates the family composition. And it also helps the nurse to view the family as a unit. It allows the nurse class to view the family as a unit. Because pag tatanungin lang siya natin, anong sakit ni nanay, anong sakit ni tatay, those are independent information. But we would want to see the family in an entire picture. And one way class for us to do it is using your genogram. Okay, that will be your genogram. Now, if you would look at genogram class, it would include the names, the relationships, the ages, the marriages, the adoption, and the health data. Okay? Now, look at that, names, relationships, tapos plus pati age, tsaka kung kinasal, kung inadopt, and then also allows the examination of behavior and health illness patterns. Ibig sabihin, pag nakita ko, oy, parent diabetic, pagkatapos plus itong nanay hypertension, ang tatay diabetic, pumunta siya sa akin sa hospital, sabi niya daw nagpapalpitate siya. One thing that I would consider is that my patient may also be having hypertension. Kasi nga, the parents has a predisposition on hypertension. Now, look at this. I actually lifted this from the book of Weber. Okay, in health assessment, I adopted this from the 5th edition of Weber. Okay, so please look at how a genogram would be done. No? So if you can notice, a genogram would have symbols. Di ba? Dati-rati siguro kung pinagawa kayo ng family tree, parang may family tree ka lang. Okay, may mga design pa, may mga kahoy pa. So class, welcome to the medical type of your family tree in which we are more concerned of the interrelationship rather than the design of your family tree. So if you will be constructing your family tree, which is part of your requirement in this class, okay, you need to construct a family tree, my dear students, that are aligning or that are showing your grandparents, your aunts and uncles. You can even include class the children of your aunts and uncles, your parents, and then your children. Okay? So class, please include your parents and then you yourselves, your children, and then the siblings that you have. Okay? So students, no, pag titingnan natin, 3 level lang to siya actually ha. This is 3 level. This will be your generation. Okay? The red ones here is your generation. The next one class is your the next one class is the generation of your parents. No? The next one class is the generation of your parents. The generation actually class of your parents is this one. Ito siya. Okay? Si parents mo yan at saka mga kapatid ni parents mo. Kaso class, inibang level lang si parent para mas makita. So class, that's the aunts and uncles, and then you also have your grandparents. So when you will be working in your family tree or genogram later on, what I would want to ask you is to present it with 3 generations. The 3 generations class, specifically you, okay, along with your siblings, your parents, along with your aunts and uncles, and then plus your grandparents. Okay? Now, let us use this guide to make your family tree. Plus the male, okay, the male is to be represented by a square. The female class is to be represented by a circle. The index person class would be you. You are the index person in this family tree because you are the patient of concern or the client of concern. So class, kindly have it as a square with double border. Okay, if you are a male, if you are a female, kindly have it with a circle class and then a double border. If your grandparents are married, no, so kindly use this line. Okay, kindly use this line. If class, they are not married but they are living together, please have a broken line. Okay, please have a broken line. Okay, what's the relevance of that class? Because we would want to know now. For example, sometimes you are wondering, why is the last name of the child different from the last name of the father? Okay, because they may be living together, class, but they are not. No? For example, they are not actually legally married. And we respect those types of relationship. Ha? Okay, baka kayo'y nagja-judge. So bawal sa nursing yung judger. Ha? So class, pagkatapos birth order, for example, 5 kayong magkakapatid. So class, the eldest would be on this side. The next class will be here. The next one will be here, and so as the list go on. If somebody is adopted in the family class, you draw these 2 lines here. What's the purpose? Why do we need to know that somebody is adopted? Class, it is relevant for us to know adoption because the genetic predisposition would be different from the other members of the family. Kasi nga, obviously, di ba, iba yung biological parent yan. So class, baka ibang genetic predisposition yung titingnan natin. Or else, later on, we might be too worried. For example, we are worried. May hypertension ba siya? Kaya bakit wala siyang diabetes? Di ba? Yun yung common sa family nila. Ayun pala, class, adopted siya. No? Ayun pala, adopted siya. Now, I don't want you to apply na this one and then the current household, that really necessary. Then class, for those members who died, kindly class mark it with an X and then class specify the date and then the cause of death. Has specify class the date and then the cause of death. Okay? If there is separation in the family class, okay, just write class or just put a slash. Okay? And then class indicate the date that they are already separated. Tapos pag may wala naman, hindi naman pwedeng legally sa atin may second husband or wife, no? Pero class, pwede kayong mag-indicate ng another line here if, for example, that person is living with another person na naman. Okay? That's okay. That's part of family history. And then class, divorce. We don't have divorce yet in the Philippines, but that will be double line. And then class, if there is a miscarriage or abortion, you give the year, class, and then you mark it with a triangle. So for example, sa 5 magkakapatid, class, may miscarriage. Si number 3 miscarriage siya. Ibig sabihin nalaglag, hindi natuloy. So write a triangle there. Okay? With the double line on this side. So that it will be indicating that there is a history of miscarriage. Because in your maternal and child nursing class, no, you will encounter patients, for example, na 3 beses nag-miscarriage, okay, or 2 beses nag-miscarriage. That signifies that there is a problem in your patient. There is a problem in your patient. Okay. Now, let's go towards the software which can be used in order to make this family tree. The common tree that I am using, class, is the PowerPoint, the Microsoft Word, and then the Canva. Okay? In your case, my dear students, you can use any of the softwares provided that your submission should be in Microsoft Word. Okay? You submit it in Microsoft Word. I'm so sorry. You submit it in PDF format. Huh? You submit it in PDF format. That will be my instruction for your family tree requirement. So pwede siyang PowerPoint, pwede siyang Canva, pwede siyang Microsoft Word kung saan mo man gagawin. Or as what I did here, you can search the web for the software that can be used for family tree. There are actually a lot of softwares that can be used for family tree. Okay? And then plus use any software there provided that your output will be in PDF format. Okay? Submitted through your Google Classroom for that matter. Okay? Now, just allow me to have some walkthrough. No? Just allow me to have some walkthrough as to how to go about with it. Okay? Let's say, for example, you will be using Microsoft Word. My dear students, if you are using Microsoft Word, the best layout that you may have, okay, the best layout that you may have, of course, would be landscape. Okay, please indicate your name here. Okay, so this will be for Juan de la Cruz. Okay, let's make a family tree for Juan de la Cruz. And then please use formal fonts. No? One example of that is your Arial. Another example is your Calibri. And then your Times New Roman. I don't want to deviate from those 3 because class, those are the academic. Those are the academic fonts that we are using. Okay? So if you are making class the family tree, when it comes to your, anong tawag natin, Microsoft Word class, okay, you click insert and then you go to shapes. and then you click the new drawing canvas. Okay? Again, class ha, insert, punta sa shapes, pagkatapos new drawing canvas. I will be forwarding the video so you can pause naman okay, as you go along. Tapos class, you have your square, then you have your circle. Where's the circle here? Okay, let's insert another shape that will be circle. If you want to ensure class that they are of the same height, no? If you want to ensure that they are of the same height, okay, try to adjust it here so that you are sure that they are of the same height. Okay, 0.9 and then that will be 0.9 here. Okay, now in that case class, since they are married, what you're going to do, let's put some details first. So what I usually do is that I add a text box, and then class on that text box, make sure that that text box is inside the drawing canvas. Okay, this is your drawing canvas. As you can see that this one outlined here is your drawing canvas. As you notice, the text box appear outside. So what I did was to cut it and then click the drawing canvas and then paste it. Okay. Now, I will be using smaller font size for this one because I will be writing details there. Okay, so I need to write, for example, the name. Okay, let's say, for example, Juan. Okay, 88. That means class, Juan is 88 years old and Juan is still alive. Okay, I'm just removing the space after paragraph so that there will be no irregular spaces. Okay, that's it. And then class, you try to center that one. And then I think it would be wise for you to remove the borders. Okay, then I'll just copy paste this one and I will use that one here for the mother. Okay, let's say for example, mother. For the mother, let's say for example that the mother is Maria. And then Maria died at 75. Okay, then because of cancer. Maria died at the age of 77 because of cancer. So you indicate it there. But since she's dead already, we need to place X. No? We need to place the X. Now, there are different ways for you to place the X. No? There are programs where in class there is already a shape with a circle of an X like that one. Okay, like this one. So I will be using that one. And then I know that the size earlier was 0.9 and 0.9. So I will be replacing this one. Okay. Now, those are the grandparents, for example, on the father side. Now, let's speak for example. We will be adding the lines. So when you add the lines class, use the shapes and you can use connectors like this. If you can notice class, there was an auto prompt earlier as to where to connect it, just like this one. Okay? Because we are doing it inside the drawing canvas. If you are drawing it outside the drawing canvas class, there will be no automated prompt. Okay? So dapat gawin nyo siya sa loob ng drawing canvas. Okay? Now look at this class. If I will be moving this around, the line would follow. Okay? The line would follow. So hindi po siya gaya po ng mga ginagawa natin long time ago. Di ba yung ginagawa ninyo? Sige, mag-line tayo ng ganito. Tapos another line na naman, no? Another line na naman, papunta here. Di ba yan yung ginagawa ng iba? Okay, so please don't do that. No? Please don't do that. Okay, so class, you use your connectors, which would be automated. And then class, if you would look at this, I'm actually clicking this one, and then I pressed shift, and then I'm pressing the text box so that I could move them together. Okay, so that it will not be difficult on my part. Okay, now, I will add the children. For example, 5 silang magkakapatid, 5 sina tatay, halimbawa, pagkatapos sila tito at saka si tita. Okay, so what would I do? No? I will connect. There's another type of connector class that looks like this. You can actually use this type of connector also. Okay, I delete the previous one. And then if you will use that type of connector class, parang ganito yung kalalabasan. Okay, so if they are not aligned together, that would mean that your text box are also not aligned. So I would move this one up a little so that they would be aligned. Okay, hindi pa sila nakakonect, sorry. Okay, move up a little so that they will be aligned. Okay, now first child, no? First child, halimbawa, tawagin natin si first child na, ano pang mga names dyan? Sino si Juan? Okay, si Capra. Okay, may pangalan doon, si Juanito. Okay, Okay, mga pangalan ng mga bata talaga. No? Okay, let's say Juanito is alive and kicking. Juanito is 50-year-old. Okay, 50-year-old. And then plus one, Juanito is diagnosed with hypertension, diabetes. Okay, let's pick it like that. Okay, the same format natin dito. Uy, sa cancer, we need to be specific, no? What type of cancer? So let's say uterine cancer. Okay, let's say uterine cancer. So that we are more specific. Okay? Pagkatapos, since medyo mahaba siya, reduce nyo lang yung font size para isang linya lang siya. Okay? That's it. Then Juanito would have diabetes. Tapos class, tuloy-tuloy mo na hanggang lahat ng kapatid ni Juanito ma-include mo na dito. Okay? Tapos class, tuloy-tuloy mo rin, gawin mo rin yung grandparent side dito kay mother. Tapos class, tuloy-tuloy mo mga kapatid ni mother pagkatapos kayong magkakapatid na. If kaya nyo pa class, ilagay nyo pati mga cousins ninyo if ever may sakit siya. Okay? So that would be how to make your family tree. Ha? Pagkatapos, my dear students, please indicate a legend below. Okay? There should be a legend. What does the square mean? What does the circle mean? What does the X mean? Okay? Kahit ganong mga legend na lang, kahit 3 legend lang, okay lang yan. Pero class, for example, pag may adopted at saka ginamit nyo, indicate also the legend for adopted. Why is that important? In whatever class diagram that you are doing, you are reminded that there should be a legend. Okay? What I'm actually teaching you is a universal language on making the family tree. But I don't know, we don't know where you will be working in the future. So class, legends talaga are very important. Okay? So you indicate what does the circle mean, what does the square mean, okay? What does the 2 lines mean with a slash. Okay? Kindly use that as a guide. So that's how you're going to do it in your Microsoft Word. No? Pagkatapos class, this is the drawing canvas. You can actually click it and then click fit. Okay? Ibig sabihin class, kung ilang objects lang dyan, magkakasya yan. Okay? But in our case, since we are making a family tree, I think mapupuno to. Okay? Now, sabihin niyo, sir, paano pag marami silang magkakapatid? Class, hindi naman standard ang 0.9. Pwede nyo naman siyang class i-reduce. Kahit gawin nyo pa yung 0.5 as long as the same sizes sila. Okay? Para malinis po yung trabaho natin. Sir, paano pag hit mo yung color blue? Okay lang, class. Okay lang. Pwede mong palitan ng colors. Hindi kita aawayin, hindi po mababawasan ang grade mo. Ang important sa akin is makita that you know how to connect them using the proper technology. And then other than that class, I would want to see that there are relevant history that are available here on the data. Okay? Class, for the purpose of data privacy, you do not need to indicate the entire name of your family members. You also, class, do not need to indicate you can use pseudonyms or you can use also their nicknames. Okay? Baka for example, kakilala ko yung tiyahin mo tapos ayaw mong malaman ko, ano? Okay lang class, okay lang to use nicknames, okay lang to use pseudonyms as long as you ask for the information whether they have that disease or not. Okay? Huwag kayong gawa-gawa ng information sa diseases ha. Baka mamaya magkakatotoo kayo pa yung masisi. Okay, so please don't do. Okay, so that's it. That's how you do it in your Microsoft Word. Unless you have questions with Microsoft Word. Okay, sige. So pag wala pa naman, allow me to proceed to PowerPoint because your PowerPoint is also a very good tool, no, for you to make diagrams. Okay, paano po tayo makakagawa ng diagrams in PowerPoint? Allow me to share the screen for that. So class, if you will be making diagrams through PowerPoint, the same class, you will be doing the insert. Okay, shapes, wala na po tayong drawing canvas kay PowerPoint because the entire slide is a drawing canvas. Okay, the entire slide class is already a drawing canvas. So for example, rectangle, and then I'll insert another shape, which is of course a circle. Okay, that's it. If you can see, if you're using the later version of the PowerPoint class, there's already a prompt whether the objects that you have are aligned or not. Eh, nakikita nyo naman, di ba? O, kita nyo yung dalawang lines, ibig sabihin, aligned sila. And then plus, if you will be using plus the connector, what's going to happen? Okay? So plus for the connector, okay, yan. Tapos connect ko lang dito, automatic magka-connect na yan. Pero nakalimutan ni sir na maglagay ng text box. So move away muna si connector. Pagkatapos maglagay tayo ng text box. So class, if you will indicate the text box, okay, that's the text box there. So you have Juan, 88, diabetes, halimbawa at hypertension. Nadagdagan ang sakit ni Juan. Okay? Now, there you are. And then class, you copy that so that it will be neat on the next format. And then you make sure they're aligned. As you can see, class, the lines indicate that it's aligned on the previous text box and also aligned on the circle on top. Okay? Now, if you have that, okay, you connect. That's it. Okay? Then you go on, class, with the other family members. Or by the way, I think I would recommend the use of this connector. Okay, this connector, class, allows you to connect to the shapes na para na mag-the same level na sila. Okay, that one. Okay. Pagkatapos, class, pagpunta dito, second, kumbaga na sister, tapos lalaki, babae, halimbawa, copy-paste ko lang. Okay. As you can see, class, there are prompts that would indicate that. Tapos, class, gusto kong i-adjust kasi gusto ko ding aesthetic, halimbawa, so gusto kong sa center yung parents na sa center ng mga kids. I can do that. Okay? And then, class, you can just choose this connector. And then, class, look at this. Okay? And then, class, another is this. And another one here. Yan. That's how it would look like in PowerPoint presentation. Right? Now, pupunta tayo kay Microsoft Word kasi sabi ni Sir, PDF file, di ba? So if you are wise, you can actually save this slide as a PDF. But if you would want to go muna to Microsoft Word, let's say, for example, you'll place your name, you would want to do some layout there. Plus, look at this. I pressed Control-A to copy all, and then I went to Microsoft Word. Allow me to share my screen in the entirety. I went to Microsoft Word. Okay, pagkatapos, class, I pasted it like that. So, class, if you can notice, na-alter yung format. Di ba? Na-alter yung format. Kung nakikita nyo na-alter ang format, ibig sabihin, mali po yung pagka-paste ko. Ito po yung recommendation ko para hindi po ma-alter ang format natin. You click the slide itself, right-click, and then copy. Again, class, na-click ko yung slide itself, right-click, copy. And then, class, by the time that I copied the slide, I will go to the PowerPoint, to the Microsoft Word, and then here's what I'm going to do. Right-click, class. Okay, paste ko na lang diretsa. Okay, paste. So, class, it is pasted as an image. It is pasted as an image. Okay, hindi na po nasira yung layout. Kung anumang layout mo kay PowerPoint, ganun na rin yung layout mo dito. Okay? So as you can see, you can just maximize it, and then if there are areas that are spacious or unnecessary spaces, you can crop it just like how you are doing on an image. Okay? That's why, class, may mga nagsasabi na mas madali pa daw gumawa ng diagram when it comes, class, to your PowerPoint compared to your Microsoft Word. Okay? Any questions so far dun sa PowerPoint? You will never feel that. No? If it's your first time doing it, you'll never feel that unless you will actually be doing it later on. Okay? Then the next option, class, that you have is, of course, your Canva. No? You have your Canva. So, class, for your Canva, it's a software that is used. As far as I'm concerned, if you will be using your education account, the one that would contain and then the name of your school, .edu.ph, Canva might be able to accommodate you for a full access. But if you could not use that, okay, then you have the PowerPoint, and then you have the PowerPoint option. Then you also have the Microsoft Word option. So, plus in Canva, there are a lot of options here that you can work on. Okay, so pwede siyang whiteboard, and then you will be adding, class, your objects there, okay, like this one. Okay, this is a whiteboard. Okay, and then, class, it allows connection. It allows connection, class, of text boxes also and element. Okay, for example, this one. If I'll be using shapes, I don't know. I think some of you are already using Canva. I have seen outputs of my students. who are using Canva. So class, that's for example your square, your circle. Okay, there. Okay. So class, those are the shapes that you can use now. If you would look at the lines, let me see the lines here. I'm rarely using this one also, but many are telling me that it's actually good. So I tried once using the posters, and it came out to be good. So you can try to practice using it. Okay, so as you can notice, class, now once you click this one, shapes will be added. Okay, shapes will be added as we go along. So just like how you are making your diagrams also in Microsoft Word. And then later on, once you will be done working in Canva, you can just click share. And then class, by the time that you click share, you click download. And then you can download it as an image and then paste also in Microsoft Word. Okay, that's one option that you have. And then there are a lot of softwares actually available in the web that even I myself was not yet able to explore because of the vast what do you call this? Vast options that are available to us. And I just would like to introduce to you later on so that if you have complex charts that you might want to work on when you are already working, okay, let me show to you another software. Another software class that we have is your Vision. Okay, we refer to that as your Microsoft Vision. Okay, class, your Microsoft Vision is the software that we are using if we would want to make process flows. Okay, so for example, if I would want to make a complex process flow with several steps, class, I'm going to Microsoft Vision because the Microsoft Vision will be able to show complicated processes and it allows automation of what you're doing. Okay. I'm not an expert on the use of Visio, so I will not be able to talk much about that. But I just would like to introduce it to you as one option if ever that you will have work later on that entails making of complex diagrams. Okay? So my dear students, for your requirement, you are required to make a family tree. Okay, you are required to make a family tree. So your requirement class is for you to work on a family tree. Okay, allow me to write the instructions here. So make your own family tree. And then please include 3 generations. That would be yours, your parents, and then your grandparents. And then indicate the medical conditions. Indicate the pertinent medical conditions. Okay, make sure class to indicate also the age of your patient, age of your family members, and the pertinent medical conditions. And then you need to submit this one in PDF format. Okay, submit in PDF format with your name on the upper left-hand corner. Okay, with your name, year, and section on the upper left-hand corner. And then other than that, please include the legend. Include the legends. Okay? I hope that you are able to capture that instructions that I'm giving you so that you will have a good time. Also, you will have a memorable time on making your requirements. Sige. Okay?